Hi, Patreon Sage here with another intuitive reading for the Sacred Union Collective. Those of you who are on a Sacred Union journey and are aware of that and have done a great deal of purging and processing already, welcome to my channel. The information that I share on this channel, it's all about current energies, divine masculine, divine feminine, gender neutral, however you identify. What else would I want to say? I think that's it. Okay, so this reading is interesting because it works first this way. When I asked about where the divine feminine is in her very intense, now we're moving into full moon, Jupiter's going direct. If you buy the astrology packaging there, we've made a nod to that. This is for the divine masculine. This is for the union. But the reading also works this way. And it also works this way. So, pretty interesting the way that the cards came out. As always, I meditate, I pre-shuffle, and I lay the cards out because I have tiny little hands and it's just easier for me and wastes less time for both of us. Alright, so the first card we have out for the Divine Feminine is Spirit Dancer. And I feel that this is where the current energies are moving us today. We're doing a very complicated, dynamic spirit dance with ourselves in union, with Source in union, and with the Divine Masculine in union. So if this is you, DF, you may have had a very intense emotional day today as you have been moving through the gate and healing the gate. And when we're moving through that Lion's Gate and healing it, there is a lot of information that moves through, and much of it is emotional, and it has to do with how we've held ourselves back and how we've held ourselves away from love. So if you're doing that spirit dance today, that's what you may be becoming aware of, and you may be having opportunities to remember times in your life that were difficult around receiving love, and you may also have memories of difficult times in your life when you've had difficulty expressing love to the Divine Masculine in an embodied male. This is a 9, so we have this first card out here. Next, for the Divine Feminine, we have what I call the 0 point card. This is the energy of the clean slate. And for me, this is really a beautiful picture of what it looks like when you've gone through the gate and you're headed back into 0 point energy and back into Source co-creation. There's nothing there. It's all being made new. I think this is very beautiful, and I think it's a very powerful place for you, Divine Feminine, to be today or anytime. Next, we have out the Loam, and this is the for me this is the card of the happy couple who are a little worn, but they are still very much together and happy and having moments in their relationship that are so deeply satisfying. So this is a time-tested relationship, and this is the card for me for a time-tested relationship. And the Divine Feminine is feeling her way into the new time-tested relationship of being in sacred union with her monad counterpart and with herself. Time-tested, lots going on. Next, we have the Tower, and for me, the Tower in this reading is representing the beautiful energy of the two that have become one, how they are at the same time opening to their connection and their union and protecting their union. And this is a very interesting card because the details, as you look at it, are very, very evocative. Now, I do feel that the Divine Feminine, in going through this experience in the gate, going through the gate, that's definitely a tower experience. It's definitely an opportunity for all that has not served you in your relationship with yourself and in your relationship with your Divine Masculine to just get real and really clue in to what it is that you actually desire and what you want to focus on and where your happiness is. And so this card is saying all of the obstacles, immediate obstacles for you falling into, flowing into, finding your way forward into your wholeness and happiness. We're taking down what doesn't work and we're reconstructing what's salvageable, and you'll be fine. Now, next out we have the Oak Men. Now, honestly, I've been using these cards for a while, and this is the first time that I really looked at this card and recognized in this calligraphy or this typography that this is Oak Men, not man. In my previous recordings, I've referred to this card as the Oak Man. But here we have two other beings, and they're looking at us, and they are the Oak Men. And now I will think of this as the wise, singular Divine Masculine who is so grounded and deeply, deeply embodying his ancient old soul wisdom. But also this is now for me a card of the Divine Masculine Collective. So for you Divine Masculines who are cross-watching this or watching this video, this is you in your grounded ancient wisdom, embodying it. And this is in relation to the Spirit Dancer. You're holding this energy as you go through the gate, so the Divine Feminine is free to move in and begin co-creating with the energies that she has around the essence of what your union will be like. Yeah, we have a siren. Oh, I don't know if you can hear that. Next we have the Gotcha card. And this is for the Divine Masculine. This is the energy of the unexpected and usually unpleasant surprise. And so I feel that for the Divine Feminines, as you've gone through the gate, this gotcha has been released, and the Divine Masculine is sharing information with you that will probably test you in terms of where you are with your unconditional love for yourself and where you are in the unconditional love you're holding for the union. The gotcha card could show up about getting news that's just, it feels like an obstacle's been set up in the way for the union, and you just have to relax and recognize that if the Divine Masculine is dealing you a gotcha card, that's about him. That's about him, and you can just sort of stay peaceful and calm and let that unfold. You don't have to do anything about it. And then following that is Tom the Poet, which is like, oh, well, I couldn't trigger you, I couldn't trick you. Okay, yeah, of course we're all right. Of course I love you. Of course, I don't know what I was thinking. So there's some of that going on, but there may be some grief and sadness that's being released right now, and it could be so many layers deep. Just relax and give yourself rest and time and space to feel, and let everything move through your body without resistance. Don't create a resistance flare. And bookending this information for the Divine Masculine, we do have the Hierophant. This is the Divine Masculine in his balanced embodiment, his Divine Feminine, and Divine Masculine is the teacher and the authority. So this is about this beautiful Oakman energy coming together with the spiritual dimension of so much wisdom and so much knowledge, and then that's in the budding phase of beginning to be shared with the Divine Feminine in support of her and her journey. But also this is you, Divine Masculine, bringing this energy into your embodiment and bringing it out into the world. Now for the union, the first card we have out is the Singer of Courage. Because with this Tower moment and with the Gotcha card, there are going to be some moments of maybe static, energetic static, or rippling waves within the union energy that are going to require us to, it's almost like you could get a little capsized. And you're going to need to get yourself righted, and you're going to want to do that quickly. At the same time, you take the opportunity to be conscious about all of the information that was part of capsizing your little boat. Then next we have the Singer of Healing, which is a beautiful energy for the union as we're moving through the gate and we are healing the gate. We need this support of all the galactic healing and interdimensional healing that is part of our union journey supporting us. Now, excuse me, we're feeling that support. We're feeling the shifts in the energy. We're feeling the intense energy of now moving through the gate. I feel as though we've gone through the adolescent version, those of us who've been in Sacred Union for the last 3-4 years, working our way up to this Lion's Gate and going through. It feels to me like we've been in the adolescent version, the tween version of union, and now we've just passed through the gate, and now it's showtime. It's the real deal. Now we've come into put your grown-up big girl, big boy pants on. This is the real deal. Here we go. This is communication. This is the beautiful card of vulnerable, honest communication that has been happening as we've been going through the gate, as we've been waking up more and more to our connection, as we've been really returning to love again and again and again, so that we don't re-wound ourselves or re-wound our beautiful divine counterparts. So we've needed the Singer of Courage, we've needed the Singer of Healing to open up and to really go deeper into our own vulnerability. Because when you reach a certain maturity, you've done your homework, you know what belongs to you, and I feel that this card for me represents sorting out your life from your life story and being in truthful, very deeply emotionally honest communication. So we have that going on. That's for the union. And then we also have the conscious co-creator, who is really, in a way, bringing a lot of his energy into this Tower movement for the Divine Feminine, so that she can clear some of any of the remaining obstacles that need to be dealt with immediately that could create a reaction flare or triggering within the union, and that would begin to get in the way of co-creating the mission work. Okay, so lastly we have out the Unity card, and for me this is the core energy. These two cards are the core energy of this union. We have the Unity card itself, and we have the Chariot. And the Chariot shows the Divine Masculine and the Divine Feminine in balance, and Source, or the third way, is holding the energy and determining which way and at what pace this vehicle is going to move and in what direction. So here we have Unity, which is the beautiful interweaving of the Divine Masculine and the Divine Feminine, surrounding and interpenetrating and emanating out from source here. And this is where the core energy of the union is coming out of the gate and moving into the new alignments and the new energies that are happening. At the bottom of the deck, we have the fairy godmother. So this is again this beautiful divine feminine energy holding the sacred master key. She is holding creation in her hands, and she is at the ready to support the journeys we are all making coming into our grown-up version of union. Now, I did do some clarifying cards using the traditional tarot, and here for the divine feminine, first we have out the Page of Wands, and this is the divine feminine coming through her tower moment, looking at that tower, and just like, yep, here it comes. I gotta get ready because this is gonna come, and I need to allow myself to move into this because it's going to reshape my landscape in a way that I desire. So we have the Page of Wands, and here we have the Fool. So once that tower moment happens, then the divine feminine, having come through the 0 point energy, and this is the 0 card, she is ready for the next cycle of coming into her own deep, deep self-love, her connection to source. And with you, divine masculine, and she's ready to take another roll off a high cliff if that's necessary to keep the union in motion, open, flowing, clear, and unobstructed in terms of her contribution to that. So divine feminine is good for you because you're grounded and you're also ready to roll and fly. Now for the divine masculines, we have the Ace of Swords, which is, this is an interesting card in this deck because the Ace of Swords, the sword has been put away and has become the sword of focused thought. So this sword has been gathering vines around it and birds are nesting on it because the sword, the physical sword, is no longer needed to cut through illusion or to cut through dishonesty. In this Ace of Swords, this person has been able to master their thought process. And so they are absolutely prepared to take the next step with clarity. And they don't even have to have things fully illuminated because they can feel with their intuition how the energy of the Ace of Swords needs to be used. And in this instance, it is being used for the divine masculine to recognize that this Ace of Swords is cutting through anything that will get in the way of the union with his true divine counterpart. And we know what happens. There can be many other soulmates and other people who move through your story. As we are going back through this energy, we are integrating every lifeline creation we've ever put out, and it's a lot of revisiting and gathering information and energy back in to one single clarified stream of consciousness. So that's what the divine masculine is working on right now, coming out of the union, coming through the union gate rather, and it's very supportive of this experience that the divine feminine is moving through. And lastly, we have for the union, we have balance of resources and abundance. Here we have the Two of Pentacles, and this is a very playful abundance. This is lighthearted energy, and we also have the accounting by the Page of Pentacles, counting up the resources for both sides to just keep an eye on the energy resources that are required to keep the union in balance. Okay, and then for final clarifications, I did continue with the World Tarot deck, and the first card we have out is Judgment. And this is what I feel is appropriate for the Divine Feminine as she is moving through this 0 point energy. This is the experience of judgment, of really having everything seen and clarified and known, and you're accountable. You have to face it, you have to feel it, and you have to move forward having resolved it and returned it back into neutral co-creative energy. Then the next card we have out is the World. And so here we have the Divine Masculine and the Divine Feminine in their union, and they're both facing the Tower. So the Divine Feminine doesn't have to go through this Tower moment alone. And the coming out into the world, the Tower will, this is beautiful if you look at the way that this energy reflects this. This is a really dynamic matching here of energy in these two cards. So that the Tower will be transformed into the energy of moving out into the world with abundance and clarity and in full color. Master number 21, very, very beautiful. Clarifying the Loam and the Tower. And then we have, we have the Lovers, and I feel that this is here to clarify unity and the Chariot. So we have this beautiful moving into from 1 to 2, and then we have the 3, which is the 2 free horses and the driver. So although the card is a 7, I see this as a 1, 2, 3. That's very reflective of the energy of sacred union. And so here we have the 2 of Chalices. Both of these individuals are having their cup of love, each of their cups of love, filled and refilled by the energy of union and in unity. Themselves and each other. This is really beautiful. Okay, so next we have Temperance. And Temperance is again filling up the cups of love. She's filling up a pitcher of love here to help these energies clarify and stay clear and stay in balance, and to remember the patience that's required to do this union journey, and to deal with our own reaction flares and the reaction flares of our partners. So we have Temperance supporting this union as well. And then we have the Empress. So yeah, this is really, it's really sweet, going from the gotcha to the I recognize who you are, my deep love, and you are my Empress, and I am staying in the flow of our union together, and I'm recognizing who you are, and every time I need to remember that, you make it easy for me to remember, and I have my higher self and my multidimensional self to help remember in my embodied form that you are my Empress, and I am going to respect that recognition and allow it to remain in truth and abundance in our whatever way we form our union, whatever we have decided at a soul level, however we're going to do this. I do recognize you as my Empress, and I am bringing resources and clarity with me so that we can continue forward. Next up we have, well, there we have the Emperor. So we have the Singer of Courage and the Singer of Healing is being anchored by grounded Emperor energy. pick these guys up. So we have this card out, and this is the energy of an emperor. This would be a person who has tremendous healing capacity for themselves and others, and also enormous courage. And now we have the Empress and the Emperor together as a couple in the reading. Okay. And the last card we have out, it's the Star card. So here we have the Star coming in. You can see that. The Star card coming in to support the healing of communication and the healing of our individual and collective energies to consciously co-create. This is beautiful. It's a really beautiful reading, but I wouldn't expect a lot of glitchiness happening in the union at this point for those of us who've gone through the gate, who've gone through the Lion's Gate. So the energies will shift, the energies will change, but this is what I have just translated, what came out of the cards and what I'm translating today for the collective who has gone through the Lion's Gate. And lastly, usually I pick just a straight a guidance card as the guidance from Source, Divine Feminine, Divine Masculine, but today this was interesting. What wanted to happen was the Ace of Water came out as the card of information, of energy coming from Source. So this is the Ace of Water. This is the Ace of Cups in traditional tarot, and this is the cup of love that's being offered for complete emotional fulfillment, and that's coming from Source. From the Divine Feminine, we have this beautiful energy moving through the Tower experience, and she's holding the emotional space, the emotional quiet, the meditative space, the resting beauty, the resting trust. This is a beautiful trusting image here, and she is holding that while the physical feminine is going through a Tower moment in her embodiment. And lastly, we have out for the Divine Masculine, we have the King of Air. So this is a beautiful energy that's supporting this other Divine Masculine energy that we've looked at in this reading. And it's very, very reflective of having put away the swords, having put away the need to do self-sabotage or damage, or to sabotage the Divine Feminine. So we have that as well. And that's what we've got. And then lastly, finishing off the reading, we have mending, because we're all in a space of mending as we are coming through on the other side of the Lion's Gate. And I feel this is so sweet. This is like the inner children of the Divine Feminine and the Divine Masculine, resting and chatting and talking and sharing perceptions and memories and ideas. And they're just doing this as they come through and have an opportunity to just collect themselves a little for a minute. The inner child part of our union is also represented in this reading. Okay, well, I hope this has resonated for some of you. Please do let me know. Like and share and comment. I will get back at you if you leave me a comment. I am obviously trying to grow this channel. I do things a bit differently, and I'm feeling that it's okay for me to express my Divine Feminine self in the way that I am translating energies through these cards. So it's a beautiful way to share the information. I hope you've enjoyed it, and until next time, no extended reading today. Okay, thanks. Bye.